Yeah, Coach Knowles, I was wondering, are you guys coming out of the spring with a certain momentum that you wanted to feel defensively? I mean, just what is your take? I mean, obviously you got to watch the video and all that kind of stuff, but what do you sense about your group?
Yeah, I think coming out and going before the game, obviously we were very vanilla and didn't do anything really. But going into the game, I felt great about how far we have come, what we've accomplished, how much we got installed, and how the players took to it. I mean, it was as good or better than I could have wished.
Far left, Stephen Means, Cleveland.com.
Given that you worked on a basic, just give you a chance for those corners to cover, especially with short game runs, Kalen, Denzel, and Cameron Brown. How did you think they performed today?
I was very pleased. You know, we're continuing to work on playing close to people, throwing punches, being aggressive with our coverage, and that may be a little bit of a change for them. You know, and they're adapting to it all the time. And you know, we're going against the best receiving corps in the country, so I think it's going to continue to be a reason for them to get better because who they see every day in practice, and we're going to continue coaching aggressive coverage.
I'm going to go over here to the far right, Austin Ward, Letterman Row.
Jim, don't want to make too much out of one maybe spring game and one scrimmage, but Kai Stokes was really seemed to be flying around in the secondary for you. I know he's got a black stripe off as well. What has this camp been like? What do you see for him moving forward here?
Kai has had a good spring, but yeah, without watching the film, I thought he had a great game just because he showed up and flashed and looked like he rose to the occasion. You know, what you worry about with a young guy is you know, bright lights, and I mean he looked like it was no problem for him. He really stepped up, so I'm looking at good things for him. I mean I liked him all along, but I was impressed today.
Over here to the far left, Bill Landis, The Athletic.
Jim, we got a lot of defensive line depth, but you know, I assume at some point you want to settle on who are actually the first four guys kind of in that rotation. What do you think of the second year guys like JT Jack, Tylee, Blake Hall, and maybe the push they're giving the older guys who have been here a little longer as you try to figure out that rotation?
I love those guys. I love every single one of them we mentioned. I love the depth. And you didn't ask, but I don't really care who starts, to be honest with you, because we're going to play a lot of guys up front, and I want them fresh, and I want them hungry, and the more, the better. And that whole group you mentioned, they could easily be starters. You know, I think they're that good. They've had that kind of spring, so I see us playing a lot of guys up there.
Deep right, Brendan Gulick, Buckeyes Now on Sports Illustrated.
Hi, Jim. It's pretty clear that you like a lot of the young talent you have in the room, and many of them played well today. Kate Powers, CJ Hicks, Andre, Denzel, Kai, so on and so forth. In terms of young players' development, what is most important for them at this stage of the game and at this time of the year so that they can be healthy and ready in September?
Yeah. So young guys, to me, as I've seen it, always have to learn how to take care of their bodies. You know, they spend their whole high school career just being great because they're talented, and now they get to the top of college football, and all of a sudden they have nutritionists and the best strength staff in the country, and now they have to sleep and go to school. So to me, it's just all about taking care of their bodies, realizing that if something clicks in their mind eventually, say, hey, you're an Olympic athlete, you need to train, take care of yourself like an Olympic athlete. And you see that light switch go on a lot with those young guys. Because we got a lot of talented guys, and we'll continue to work with them when they get done with exams, take time off, come back. We'll be working with them, and we'll be working with them all summer because I think a lot of them can play for us.
Just following up on that, I mean, that group of guys, who among them is most emotionally intelligent, or guys that most recognize when they need more help with nutrition, they need better sleep? Who has taken good strides with that?
I don't think I know enough yet to comment on that. You know, I think I need to continue to learn more about them as people, really dive into their lives. You know, I think the last couple months I've been just push and install on top of them and on top of the coaches, that I think I'll learn more. I need to really invest more time into who they are, how they're living.
Got time for just a couple more. Front row left, Bill Rabinowitz, Columbus Dispatch.
Jim, what was the biggest revelation of the spring for today, and what's your biggest concern heading out there?
First one I heard you say the biggest revelation of this spring was that regardless of talent, these players that we have, they want to learn. They soaked up everything I did. I mean, they were just into it, into football, into us, culture change and the way we run meetings and they picked it up. I mean, they picked it up at a high speed. So it's just a football intelligent group who wants to be coached and wants to be led. So I was really happy about that. What was the second one?
The biggest concern of leading him?
The biggest concern for me really is, in the back end, safeties, just because we didn't have, guys, a lot of guys were banged up this spring, right? So I love Proctor, but he didn't get it. Now you see a little bit of him, when you see a little bit more of him, you get excited, but I'm always worried about depth back there, because sometimes you have to, move guys around from position to position, and it becomes a challenge if you don't have enough guys. So, that's why I was really excited to see what Kai did today. I love that. It can help us a lot in terms of our depth.
Back row right, Spencer Holbrook, left row.
Jimmy, you talk about how you didn't want to show a lot more of the state film. You wanted these guys to see themselves on film. You only had 15 practices. Do you feel like you have enough right now on tape that you can refer these guys back to what they did so in the summer they can do all this stuff?
Yes. I don't know how else to say it, but yeah, I mean, I kind of put it all on them and pushed them, and they didn't get it always right, but it was fun. We had guys moving around all different places, and now I can show them, and that was my goal, is to get it on tape, wearing Ohio State uniforms.
Far left, Joey Kaufman, Columbus Dispatch.
Jim, how do you think Jack Sawyer did finish out the spring, especially having picked up a new position with some more intricacies in the Jack role?
Great. I love the way he plays. I love his toughness. And Jack seems to be that kind of kid, who will snap back a little bit. I'm from Philly, so I kind of like that guy. Hey, Jack, you got to do this. Back in me, and that's kind of like, okay, now we got a relationship.
Over here, front row right, Nathan Barrett, Cleveland.com.
I was going to ask about that, Jack. You had been kind of specifically stressing that it was a kind of work in progress, and down to how you even turned to that position. Where is that as you end the spring? We're in that process of the positional maturation, and what can it be for the fall?
Again, I waited, was it 6, 7 maybe to do it, and in that second half of spring, I thought we came a long way. I really did, So now I want to be able to sit down and look at it, and see how we can blend the whole thing together. Start to meet with those guys individually, see who's ready for the challenge of kind of doing everything. But I thought we came a long way in just a few practices.
And final question to the far left, Colin Gay, Rivals.
Hey, Jim, you mentioned Josh Proctor. As a guy coming back from injury, but also having to learn this scheme kind of off the field, how did you see him develop, and what did you see out of him, even in the limited amount of time, the kind of period that he was able to play today? How did he kind of perform?
Yeah, I saw when he started to get out there on the field, even not hitting anybody, and then it took him like a couple practices to get back on his feet. And then I really saw improvement like the last couple practices when he was out there. So, when you're away from it that long, and it's a new system, and then you get back out there and everybody else is ahead and you gotta catch up. And I'm not very patient because I think he's great, so I'm, hey, let's go, Proc. And, you know, yelling at the coaches to meet with him extra, get him up, get him going, we need him. And then I saw Surge, you know, I saw Surge from him, he started picking it up and started clicking, and I think he can